By the way, for those people that complain about Kenya,
Yeah.
Kenya is this, hatuna infrastructure, our politicians are corrupt. You know what? Just take a 1-hour flight. Go to our neighboring countries.
Yeah.
You will appreciate Kenya.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we are a superpower. I was in a recent East African country. I spent 8 hours in traffic. Standstill traffic. Have you ever had that?
That's insane.
And that country, they're very, how do I say, politically motivated. They're very pride. They're like, we can pass Kenya in the next 2 to 3 years. Unless a war happens in Kenya, sidhani that will happen.
And that's very unlikely.
But say, just take any East African community on that expressway and then send them across.
Yeah.
So what I will tell Kenyans is we can complain as much as we want. Just go to and visit our neighboring country.
I recently came across a podcast featuring a Kenyan who had traveled across Africa. He said Kenyans should not complain too much because when you travel to other countries in Africa, you realize Kenya is far ahead. Even the Speaker of the Kenyan Parliament said something similar recently.
I want to tell you, a river is never appreciated until it dries up. You go out there around the continent of Africa, and I've been to each and every country on this continent, and you realize how blessed Kenya is. It is now up to you, instead of being cynical, to fight the vices that can make Kenya better. Yes.
And I got in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it again. If you complain about Kenya, just go West Africa.
Go any, but I used to say this all the time, and this is going back 15, 17 years.
Yeah.
And when I was working heavily for Mnet, I must have traveled to 20 countries.
Over Africa?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting.
Burundi, Nigeria, Ghana, Chad once, Ethiopia, Eritrea.
Okay.
And I used to always say, this is like going back like 15, 17 years ago when Nairobi was not like this. If you want to appreciate Nairobi as a city, go to other cities in Africa.
You have
With the exception of South Africa.
Yeah.
What else do you have, really?
No, I 100% agree with you. In fact, one of the reels we did, I think, Kim, that got like nearly a million views, yeah? Just by saying, for those of us that say Kenya is just go to our neighboring countries.
Yeah.
That Kenya remains one of the most advanced nations on the continent. That got me curious. So I looked deeper and I found out that Kenya truly stands out in many key areas compared to other countries in Africa. Let's start with education. Kenya education system is among the best in Africa. Most people in Kenya can read and write, thanks to free primary education introduced years ago. That single move changed millions of lives and created one of Africa's most educated populations.
Have to go to school in Kenya. Like seriously. Kenya people have sense more than all.
After moving abroad, I got a chance to interact with other people from other African countries. And I came to realize that Kenyan education system, the details in the Kenyan education system are so shocking. Do you know, I was interacting with somebody, I'm not going to mention the country, and she didn't know that Ethiopia was not colonized. She's close to Liberia, but she didn't know that Liberia was also not colonized. And I'm like, what do you people learn in school? She couldn't name like 20 African countries. She couldn't. Let me tell you, if you have gone through Kenyan education system past high school, you should have a diploma in this side of the world or a degree. Because the vigorousness of the Kenyan education system, they teach you things that are so irrelevant. But when you come to the real life, you see, like for me, when I was doing mathematics, I was terrible in maths. Let's start there. But I was really fascinated about the exchange rate. There was this thing we used to do about dollars and Kenya shillings. I was like, okay, I'm just learning it. It's nice. I never knew where that is going to apply. Look at where I live now. Look at where I live. This is my daily interactions with dollar, euro, pounds, exchange rate, gone up, down, inflation, blah, blah, blah. I was also interested in insurance. I was like, okay, this is a very interesting topic. It was one of my best topics in business. Practically, you need an insurance, medical, life insurance, home insurance, property insurance, blah, 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 blah. Me, I am convinced that Kenya in Africa is one of those countries that has the best education system. That's why most of the African politicians bring their kids to study in Kenya. Like high schools, those fancy high schools, a lot of South Sudanese people, Congolese, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, they come to study in Kenya because the Kenyan education system sets you up for life. Even if you do not get a job, but the practical skills you learned in the Kenyan school system, they'll carry you through life. Where? And ndio sahi wamechange, they have brought some at CBC. I don't know how that one is, but let's give it 20 years. But Kenyan education system, the old 844 that we had, and the other one that our parents had, the one with e-commerce and blah, blah, blah. Kenyan education system is not a joke. If you passed exams in Kenya, there's no exam in this world that you can fail. Quote me anywhere. I said what I said.
Then there's technology. Kenya is called the Silicon Savannah. It's the home of M-Pesa, a mobile money innovation that made Kenya one of the first cashless economies in Africa and in the world too.
Which brings me to Kenya, Mr. President. No country on the continent more embodies this spirit of innovation than Kenya. Kenya, as many here know, has Silicon Savannah, a $1 billion technology ecosystem confronting challenges that range from the climate crisis to financial inclusion to healthcare.
Things I love about living in Kenya as an American living in Kenya, part 2. M-Pesa tops everything. I think every single country should have M-Pesa. I'm not sure why America does not have M-Pesa. It makes no sense at all. Like, it makes no sense. Why do they not have it? Sorry, I got distracted. Some guy was just trying to sell me something on the side of my car. But part 2, the outdoor activities. Like, there's always something to do, whether you're like walking around town, going to safari, feeding giraffes. There's always something to do.
Top 10 African countries by population leading in cashless transactions. At number 10, we have Congo Republic. So Congo is on this list and Nigeria is not on the list. That's crazy. Spoiler. But don't worry, at the end of number 3, we have Ghana. 63.7% of the population, cashless transactions. At number 2, we have South Africa. 70.5%. Wow. That is most of South Africans, you know, they're just swiping their card. Nobody is carrying cash around in South Africa. Isn't that great? Anyway, if you like this list, I wanted that list like this. Please follow and like for more. And tell me how much is a loaf of bread in your country. Because in Nigeria, a loaf of bread now is 2,000 naira. God, I beg you. At number 1, we have Kenya. Kenya is number 1. Wow. Even more than South Africa. 75.8% of the population engage in cashless transactions. That's really, really great.
Kenya is rapidly emerging as a leader in African space technology development. In recent years, the nation launched its first satellite, Taifa-1, marking a milestone in homegrown innovation. Kenya's space agency collaborates with universities and international partners to advance satellite imaging, weather monitoring, and telecommunications.
Today, tech hubs and startups keep the country ahead of most African nations.
Things you did not know about Kenya. Kenya is one of the first countries in the world and the first country in Africa to have a mobile phone money transfer system. I said
definitely a result of the stable Wi-Fi connection and internet connection in Nairobi and the much better established address system. So definitely Nairobi wins the first one. So let's look at the second criteria, peace and stability. Very, very important for me and for many diaspora out there who come back to the motherland to seek peace. And let me make it short, Nairobi wins this round as well because, as I have mentioned in the very beginning of this video, peace and stability issue was the reason I left Addis Ababa. I don't know if it is because of M-Pesa. Thanks for clarifying that it is pronounced M-Pesa. Asante sana, each one teach one. But yeah, because I didn't have to carry cash with me, it gave me a sense of comfort and security that I miss in other African countries.
This is the sad truth. I know a lot of Ugandans are going to come at me for this.
Yes.
And you'll see them in the comment section. Until you travel and leave your country and see how other countries are.
Yes.
That is when you will accept the truth. I'm a South Sudanese. I've lived in Uganda for 20 years. And all these 20 years, I've always thought like Uganda is the best country, is well developed and all that. Until I stepped my legs, my tiny skinny legs in Nairobi. That is when I realized that Uganda still has a long way to go. And it's crazy that few years ago, Uganda was far better than what? Kenya.
I'm telling you.
Just a few years ago, Uganda was far better than Kenya. But all of a sudden, boom, everybody wants to go to Kenya now. I'm seeing Nigerians moving to Kenya.
I see them on YouTube. Hold
Nigerians are moving to Kenya.
You never see Kenyans moving to Nigeria, but you always see Nigerians moving to what?
To Kenya.
Kenya. We have a lot of people out there that want to know, is Kenya a better opportunity in your experience than Uganda?
I would say in the field that I'm in, which is social media and entertainment,
Yes.
Kenya is way better than Uganda.
Okay.
First of all, they have faster internet compared to Uganda.
Okay.
It's cheaper that everybody affords. Like anybody can easily afford the internet in Kenya.
Okay.
So that gives you high chances of being streamed on the media.
Okay.
Either YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the socials.
Yes.
So that is the biggest advantage Kenya has.
In healthcare, Kenya has made a big progress. It hosts major referral hospitals like Kenyatta, Moi Teaching and Referral, Aga Khan, and others. Many people from neighboring countries travel to Kenya for treatment, a clear sign of Kenya's growing medical strength.
Did you know Kenya has the second best healthcare in Africa? Yep, South Africa is the first.
The top 7 African countries with the best healthcare. Number 7 is Morocco. Number 6 is Egypt, and I hope they've upgraded their healthcare system from the times of the ancient Egypt where they just like pull your brain out through your nose and then you're good. Be on your merry way back to building the pyramid, idiot. Number 5, Nigeria. Nigeria has so many brilliant people. Some of the most brilliant immigrants here in the United States are actually, from Nigeria. Number 4, Algeria. And number 2, we've got Kenya. If you like this list and want more about other nonsense, follow me. Leave me a comment with your thoughts on the healthcare system in Africa. I know a lot of people were. Number 1, of course, is South Africa.
When it comes to democracy, there may be challenges here and there, but Kenya still stands out compared to other African countries.
The saga that's going on between Kenya and Tanzania, I have just realized that Kenya is the only democratic country in East African region. When you look at Rwanda, when you look at Uganda, and now Tanzania, Kenya is the most democratic. We might have our own issues, but at least people have freedom of speech. People can say anything they want to the government. People can sue the government. People can, say some things about the president.
Elections happen regularly. Citizens speak freely, and leaders are constantly held accountable. That's a sign of political maturity. Many Africans are still working towards that level.
And let me tell you, Kenya is the only democratic nation I think in
It's
Africa
true.
right now.
It's
Siku
true.
zetu ni nini, sikupiga kifua lakini Kenya
Tumepiga
hatua kidemokrasia.
Sana.
To an extent where you can insult the president and nothing happens to you.
It's true.
Unamwambia tu president, hapa hujafanya poa. Paka rais anasema nimewasikiza. You know?
You know, guys, the funny thing here in Africa, especially in East Africa. They can talk, they have a lot of words, but no action can be done in East Africa. Do you know why Kenya is leading East Africa? Why Kenya is the most developed country in East Africa in terms of infrastructure, in terms of military, in terms of education, in terms of economic, everything? Let me tell you the reason. Kenyans correct their government when they see the government is not doing well. When they see the government is not meeting the needs for the citizens, they correct them. What do Somalis, Ugandans, Tanzanians, Congolese, Sudanese, Rwandans, Burundians, what do they do? The only job they do is just to talk a lot and do nothing.
Kenya also leads in hospitality and security. Foreign visitors often say they feel safe and welcomed, whether in Nairobi, the coast, or national parks, or the beaches.
These are all amazing questions. My name's Sally, and I'm a New Yorker who lived in Nairobi for 6 months, so I'm gonna give you the rundown. I felt safer in Kenya than I felt maybe in any other city, honest to God. Almost anywhere you stay is gonna have security. Crime isn't really like a big thing in most of the areas that I assume you'd be staying. Everyone is extremely nice and welcoming to tourists, so you're not gonna feel like an outsider or like an easy target. Obviously still be smart and have your wits about you traveling in a different country, but I felt super, super safe in all the places.
It's so hot out here today. I had to wear my African braids. I had to wear the 2 braids out here today, but there's a few things that I have noticed about living in Kenya where I didn't really notice it when I was going back and forth to Nigeria. And that is, like, literally people here don't fucking care about foreigners. Like, you are a nobody to them. They don't look at you like, honestly, when you're outside and everything, they don't come up to you, they don't ask you for money, they don't extort money from you. They don't look at you like you're a foreigner. They look at you like you're a regular ass human being. Literally. And I like that living here. I really do.
When my family decided to move away from the United States and relocate to Nairobi, Kenya, we were faced with some concern, and a lot of people had questions like, oh my gosh, are you sure that's where you want to move? It's not safe for your children. There's kidnapping, you will get robbed, the government is corrupt and cash is king, and just like all this negativity surrounding Nairobi. But in the back of my head, I'm like, you think America's safe? Do you think I was safe there? Especially now? No. Do you think my kids were safe? With all the school shootings happening every other month, it seems like? No, Kenya has security around the clock. Every apartment building you go to, every school, every mall has a full security team waiting there. You will be inspected before you even go inside. We didn't have that. So you're telling me I'm safer over there? It was in America where my house was broken into while I was inside my home watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
It's no surprise Kenya police officers were chosen to help bring peace to Haiti, a sign of trust in their professionalism. And finally, infrastructure. From the Nairobi Expressway to highways, airports, and ports, Kenya development is visible everywhere. Its road network is among the best in the region, connecting people and driving trade. So yes, Kenya faces challenges like any other nation. But when you look at education, technology, healthcare, democracy, hospitality, and infrastructure, the progress is undeniable. Kenya isn't falling behind. It's moving ahead and fast.
For me, Wakanda from Black Panther is Nairobi in 10 years. I want to say it and repeat it because if we synchronize our collective mind toward this vision and we all move toward it, it is fully achievable. I have been entrepreneur for almost 20 years now, and I know when people have traction, and I never had so much traction as I do here. People are not afraid to dream, and they are talented, they are expert, and they move forward with strength and passion. And I have never seen so much traction as here. So right now, the Western world is divided and it moves backward. And it is the opportunity for the people of Kenya to unite and to move forward with a single strong voice. And if we all believe in it, it is fully achievable. Imagine a country of Africa being not only a leader, but a first world power. If we connect the dot, open the economy, broadcast the vision, and start moving forward together, it is within reach. And I fully, sincerely believe in this vision. Let's make it happen, guys.
If you believe Africa is rising and Kenya is leading the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can see the real story of Africa and Kenya's progress.
What is the capital of Africa?
Is it Kenya? Big.